Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sevyn Elise here for another YouTube video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button. I promise you will not be disappointed with all the good content that I've coming up soon. Ooh, Lord. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, my love. I'm so glad to have you here join us for today's video. Before we get into anything, you guys, make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms right here on the screen. Yeah, let's just hop right into this video because I don't want to make this a long intro. So, as you guys can tell, this is episode 2 of makeup therapy. So I think I am going to turn this into a series. I don't know if I mentioned that on the video before. But this is like the most recent to date video that I'm posting on my YouTube channel. So how this is going to work, because today is December 5th. So I have a video that I'm going to upload tomorrow, which is December 6th. I have a video that I'm going to upload tomorrow. I'm going to film it today though. And then after that, I'm going to upload all my previous videos that I filmed before. I have a lot of old videos that I have not gotten around to editing or, uploading, obviously. And it's really because I just be so hard on myself. So I'd be like, damn, like, is people really going to watch this video? And then, like, when I be getting around to the editing portion, I focus too much on like my looks in the video than I do on, the content that I'm creating, if that makes sense. So like, for example, the last makeup therapy that I did, which was episode 1, when I was like going into editing that video, I was too focused on, I was too focused on the fact that you can see that I don't have batteries in my mirror. I was too focused on the fact that, which I really don't care about. But, like, it wasn't something that I was focused on because I was like, damn, that might throw people off. It might be distracting. I was too focused on, like, how my face looked on the camera because, like, obviously I know how to do my makeup and my makeup looks good in real life. So, like, but on camera, it just wasn't hitting. Like, when I was, like, going into editing, it just wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. So I was like contemplating on if I should upload it or not. But then I had to realize today, which is December 5th, I wasn't making a makeup tutorial. That's why I was so hard on myself about like, do I really want to post this video? Because I might, people might think like, girl, what is she doing? She don't know what she's doing. But I had to realize, which was today, and that video will probably be uploaded sometime this week. I don't know yet. But, like I said, when I go into my scheduling, we'll see when I'm going to upload it. Like, makeup therapy is just when I want to come on camera and do my makeup because I'm bored, and makeup to me is like really therapeutic. Makeup to me is just really therapeutic, and it's just something I like to do when I'm bored. And then I was like, okay, so how can I turn this into, content? So what I did was makeup therapy. So like, I just come on here and talk about, like when I'm having like, not even if I'm having a bad day. It can be about, if I'm having a good day or whatever. Therapy doesn't always have to be like, you being stressed out. I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta focus on my eyebrows, so I'm gonna just speed this up and then I'll be back. Alright, we back. Don't know what I was talking about, so we're just gonna move it on along. Damn. Alright, so let's talk about where your girl has been these last couple of months. I disappeared from YouTube for like 2 months, I think. I'm just happy y'all still here with me. Lord knows that I be inconsistent. I forgot to set my smile lines. So, I might crease. In November, I had COVID. So that's why I didn't post in November. COVID. It was bad. I want to say day 3 and 4, I think, was like the worst days that I felt. It was just like constant headache, couldn't speak really because my throat was so sore. COVID just wasn't really seeing it for me. I thought she might take me out. This is a lot of fucking work. I really thought I was dying that whole time I had COVID, like not even exaggerating to you guys. Like, I just felt so terrible. How I got COVID was because of my mom. My mom had COVID and she ended up giving it to me when I was like, you know, taking care of her, going to the store and like getting her groceries and stuff. I was still wearing my mask when I went inside her house, but I guess that wasn't enough. I guess COVID said she wanted me too, girl. So she got me. I think I had it like the second week of November, and I was like sick all the way up until like the last week of November. Well, at least that's when I like was released off of quarantine, because you know you have to quarantine for like 2 weeks or whatever. So yeah, I got sick or whatever, and that was why I kind of wasn't posting in November, because I was in bed sick, and the whole time I was sick with COVID, girl, all I did was watch the Housewives. I caught up on Salt Lake City because my girl Jackie Aina said it was interesting, so I started watching Salt Lake City. Really wasn't that interesting, girl. I don't really like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Ooh, I should start doing TV show reviews. I guess I can like tell y'all about my experience with COVID. So like my experience with COVID, damn, okay, I'm all over the place. When y'all watch the older videos that I'm going to post, because I have like I have two videos that I recorded. I want to say I recorded them in like beginning of November, because the time wouldn't match up. But I recorded two videos the beginning of November, and when I had recorded these two videos, which you guys will see upcoming or whatever, when I recorded those videos, I was like sniffling a lot and coughing. I don't know if they're like actively in the video, but if they are, I will like include it so you guys can like, you know what I'm talking about. So remember this part of this video when you see those others. I kept like sniffling, coughing. Little did I know, I thought it was just a cold. Little did I know I had COVID the whole time. The whole time, girl. So I'm just up here recording, you know, making YouTube videos, and I got COVID. Not even knowing. Because my body wasn't, like my body didn't really shut down until like a few days, maybe a week after that. That's when I had like went and got tested, because like I was like, okay girl, like I don't feel good at all. I feel like I'm dying. I need to go to the hospital. Yeah, I went to the hospital when I felt like I was like on my deathbed, and I called the ambulance. I called the ambulance. They came and transported me to the hospital. I went to, if you guys like live in Cleveland, Ohio, then you are familiar with this hospital that I'm about to talk about. They took me to University Hospital. I was supposed to go to the emergency room, right? So this is why I was like irritated and disgusted with like UH. I really hate them. I really hate them because like, ew. So I get to the hospital, right? Oh shit. That's probably why, because I need to spray my face, but it's okay. So I get to the hospital, and you know I'm in the emergency department, because that's where they were taking me, and they're like, oh, we don't have a lot of beds, so they like, you know, put me in a waiting room or whatever, like while I'm still on the little you know, ambulance bed or whatever, like the little stretcher. I immediately felt like Mr. Krabs, like you know how like when he couldn't pay his hospital bill and they kept like they pushed him into the hallway and then they pushed his ass outside. That's how I felt. Like I just felt like Mr. Krabs. Like I was like, damn. So I'm in the waiting room, sitting in this sitting on the stretcher, and they're like, oh well, they say, you know, just sit out here, so you can just take a seat, and when they call you, you know, you'll go back there or whatever. And I just felt like that was just so dumb. I understand that, you know, hospital beds be full because of, you know, people have like other emergencies. I just feel like if I'm coming here because I'm telling y'all like I think I have COVID and I'm experiencing COVID symptoms, why would you put me in a waiting room with a whole lot of people? Like that just don't make sense to me. I need to spray my face because this product is not moving. I just felt like, why would you put me in a waiting room with a whole lot of people when I just told y'all that I'm here because I think I have COVID? Like, now I'm putting other people at risk of being sick. Like, don't y'all think? Girl, apparently they didn't think. So, I'm sitting in the waiting room. Then they eventually put me in like this little weight room or whatever. Like, it was like secluded. It was like off in a cut. Eventually the doctor came out there. Wait, before we even get to the doctor, girl. So the nurse come over there. She had me fill out some information or whatever. This bitch go say, she told me something was wrong with my insurance. Now my insurance is under my birth name. Well, my dead name or whatever y'all, however y'all call it. I just call it my birth name because that was the name I was born with. But, so my insurance is still under my birth name. It's not under Sevyn. Because I never got around to changing it. So I'm in the hospital or whatever. So she's like, yeah, something's wrong with your insurance. So you can like still see the doctor. And, you know, you'll just have to like pay out of pocket or some shit she said. It was something along the lines of that though. I call my mom and I'm like, well girl, just give me an Uber home. Like, I was like, girl, I'm gonna just die at home because I ain't got no money to pay for this. Like, what do you mean I gotta pay for it? So I told my mom, I'm like, girl, just give me an Uber. And she's like, no, they can't refuse to see you. They still gotta see you and blah, blah, blah. So the nurse was like, yeah, like, you can just take a rapid test or whatever. And then, like, the results will come to your phone. Like, do you want to just do that? And I was like, sure. I'm trying to, like, you know, take the rapid test, but it's not popping up on my phone because my camera is broken. I didn't really know how to, like, work that shit. Like, I was reading the instructions, and it just wasn't working. So I assumed it was because my camera was broken. That's why it wasn't working. I tell her, she's out there trying to do it. It wasn't working. And it was just a mess. I'm talking to the nurse, and I'm telling her, like, yeah, like, this isn't working. It's not letting me scan the barcode so I can, like, you know, take the COVID test. She's like, oh, let me see. I don't know how to work it either or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, point me to somebody else that do know how to work this shit then. Moral of the story is, her or the other receptionist nurse, they didn't know how to work that shit. So then I'm like, well, what's wrong with my insurance? Knowing damn well I already knew what was wrong with it. But I'm like, so, like, what's wrong with my insurance or whatever? Because I was like, girl, I need to see a doctor. So at this point, I just tell them, like, you know, I just tell them that I go by my birth name and not Sevyn. Because I needed to see the doctor. So she's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with your insurance. Why did you say that? And I'm like, bitch, because literally 5 minutes ago you just told me something was wrong with my insurance. I couldn't see the doctor and you just had to bill me and I was going to pay for this shit. So what the fuck you mean ain't nothing wrong with my insurance? Anyways, I ended up seeing a doctor. I feel like I'm like really dragging this story. So I ended up seeing a doctor or whatever. And, you know, he came in there and called me by my dead name or whatever. And I'm like, ew, hey, don't do that. So I tell him, I'm like, my name is Sevyn. And, you know, my pronouns are she and her. And he just did not understand what the fuck I said to him. Like, he couldn't understand it. Like, he couldn't fucking, what's the word? He couldn't process that. They ended up coming in there and giving me the COVID test. And then they was like, all right, girl, you can go home. And I was like, oh. So I came up here for nothing. Is what y'all just told me. Y'all gave me a COVID test. And then y'all told me to get the fuck out y'all face. That's what I heard. I heard get the fuck out my face. They called me like the next day. I missed the call because I was asleep when they called me. So I called them back. This is when I started getting irritated. Because when I called back to talk to the nurse that called me, they was acting like they didn't know who the fuck she was. Like, as if she just didn't work there or some shit. I'm like, okay, well, connect me to the DON or to the nursing manager or somebody. Like, somebody gotta know who this lady is, cause she not just go call me. Like, you know, like, it just didn't make sense. So I eventually get on the phone with like the nursing manager or whatever. He's like, yeah, well, I don't know who that is. I can transfer you to the ED. So they transfer me to the ED. I tell them my information or whatever. He's like, oh, they didn't tell you that you were positive? And I was just like, obviously not, bitch. Like, that's why I'm calling. Like, what do you mean? I just didn't appreciate the way that he, like, delivered the test results. Like, he was just like, oh, they didn't tell you that you were positive? Like, as if he, like, he was, like, expecting me to know that I was positive or whatever. And I just feel like, girl, I'm calling up here to get my test results. Like, what do you mean, Miss Mamas? So he was like, yeah, take some ibuprofen and some Tylenol and stay hydrated. I said, oh. I said, let me find out Tylenol and ibuprofen kill COVID. So those are like pain medications. And they're used to like, you know, stop like headaches and, you know, pain and stuff. I had some Aleve in my medicine cabinet. My mommy brought me some ibuprofen, and then she brought me like hella fruit, hella ginger ale, hella popsicles. I don't know why she brought me popsicles because I didn't ask for no popsicles. And that's basically, you know, my COVID experience. Like I said, day 3 and 4 was like the worst. Because I was taking the ibuprofen for like the first 4 days, and that shit was not fucking working at all. Like that ibuprofen was not working at all. So I started taking the Aleve that I had at first, and that started working, and it was like relieving me of the headache. A few days later, she got me some Mucinex. Mucus X, however you say that shit. I'm pretty sure you say it as Mucinex, but whatever, because there's some naysayers out there that think that's not how you say it. But yeah, so she got me some Mucinex or whatever. I ended up, you know, coughing up all the congestion that I had, all that cold that I had down in there. I started coughing all that up by like literally, I want to say like the next day, so like day 5 or 6. Day 7, I was able to talk again. The headaches weren't really there, so I was like continuing the leave. I really should have just put my hair in a ponytail, but whatever. I want to say like after that, day 8, 9, and 10 were cool. And then, you know, you're only supposed to quarantine for like 10 to 14 days. I was able to go back to work, which I really didn't want to do because I hate my job. I was able to go back to work and be a nursing assistant and be miserable. I only went for like, I'm not even gonna lie, I only went back to work for like probably like 2, maybe 3 more times. And then I was like, yeah, girl, I'm over this shit. Like, I'm not being a nursing assistant no more. Like, I don't want to do nothing in the medical field. Get me up out of here. I ended up quitting because my job was like doing a vaccine mandate. And I was like, girl, y'all doing too much. And like, I couldn't get vaccinated because I just had COVID. So I didn't know like the side effects that it was going to cause on my body. And I didn't know if I was going to be out of work for some more days. So I was just over it. I was just like, girl, I don't even want to work for y'all no more. I don't want to be at STNA no more. So I started looking for a job. Alright, you guys, in between these 2 clips, I just cut out every other thing that I was doing because it wasn't really important as it pertains to this video. So I did go ahead and contour my nose off screen. As you see, I'm just finishing up here. And now we're going to get back to the rest of the video. So my love life is non-existent. Again. Well, it's not again, but you know, it's been non-existent. I don't really have a love life. The guy that I was talking to in LA, I think we're officially done. I haven't talked to him in a week. This is the longest me and him haven't talked since I stopped talking to him the first time. It's really all because we got into it because I told him how I felt about a certain situation. He feels that I was attacking his character. I guess he was like, you know, saying like how he about to start moving different or whatever. And at first I didn't like, you know, really care because I was just like, girl, whatever. Like, because, you know, it was like the heat of the moment. We were arguing or whatever, and I didn't really care about like, you know, what it was he was talking about or how he about to start moving different or anything like that. Turns out I did care because I've been in distress because we haven't been talking, and you know, like that was just somebody that I thought was like really different when it came to like, you know, my dating life with men. He was different, you know. He wasn't like all the other guys that I've met here in Cleveland. I think the dynamic was just that way, like why I just thought he was so different. It's probably because we weren't in the same city. But I also do, like, I, like, genuinely deep down in my heart, I do think he's, like, a real gentleman, like, you know, like, that's, like, really how he was. Like, he's, like, a real gentleman. Like, no matter if I stayed in Europe or in LA, like, he was still going to be a gentleman towards me, and I really appreciated that. And that's what, like, made me fall for him the most. Like, even though we never met in person. And that's the part that like bugs me so much. Is like I feel so hard for somebody that I've never even seen a day in my life, like in person. Like we FaceTimed one time, Other than that, all we did was like text. We would talk on the phone occasionally, not too much. We wouldn't talk on the phone, you know, too many times. Not that many times, like a month, probably like once or twice a month. We would talk on the phone, and it would only be for like 10 minutes, like, you know. But whatever. Long story short, girl, I just feel like he got upset because I told him that I was upset by something he did and his actions, and now, you know, we not talking. And I just feel like I feel like if I can't come to you and tell you how I feel about something that you did that made me upset, and you feel like I'm attacking your character because I want you to take responsibility for the shit that you do and say that make me upset, and then go, okay, Sevyn, I apologize, I won't do that. Well, not necessarily say verbatim that, you know, I apologize. Well, I do want you to apologize. But I don't want you to be like, you know, like, just take into consideration how I feel how I feel about something, and then be like, okay, well, I know she hates it when I do this, so I won't do that. And that's basically what I was trying to explain to him, but he wasn't understanding that. I guess what was processing through his head was I want him to be like my yes man or whatever. And it's like every time I tell him that I have a problem with something, he just I want him to kiss my ass or something, and that's like not the case. So it was just like a big form of miscommunication. We talked like probably like 2-3 times after that. Like the vibe was just so different. He wasn't even texting me good morning no more. Like he completely stopped texting me. The one time where he did text me good morning, he didn't even say good morning. He said morning. Like literally morning. And I'm like, are we okay? Like, are we beefing? Like, what's the issue? Out of the whole entire 6 months that I was talking to this man, he always sent me a good morning text. And it always said good morning. If not, good morning love, good morning beautiful, good morning gorgeous. Like, he always added something after that. And like, sometimes it'll be with a heart, sometimes it wouldn't. But like, you know. So the fact that he just sent me like morning, I was like, oh yeah, like, we're done. Like, he don't want to talk to me. Like, he's done with me. So I was just like, okay. And it took me some time to like, you know, accept that and like get over it. And I'm at a point of acceptance. I still think about him and I wish him the best with like, you know, all his future endeavors and careers and relationships and all of that. Like, it's no bad blood. I don't feel at fault for us not talking. Like I said, I just feel like, you know, if you couldn't handle that heat, then obviously we don't belong together. Or not saying that we were together in a relationship, but you know, like, obviously we're not compatible enough, you know, to be on a relationship type of level. So I'm still sad about it, because like I said, I haven't talked to him since like last Monday, and it's Sunday. So it's only been a week. I'm still like low-key sad about it, but I'm getting over it, because it's nothing I can do, you know. I'm not reaching out to him because he know how I feel about him. And anyways, girl, I'm excited for 2022. I think 2022 is definitely going to be like my little comeback year. I have some new business opportunities coming, as far as like, you know, me being a content creator and like being on my shit. I'm definitely going to start investing more into my YouTube. I'm not going to keep abandoning you guys. Just expect a lot of new stuff. Expect a lot of new content. I'm going to start being more consistent. We're actually starting to be consistent this month. But you guys, that's pretty much all I have for today's video. If you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will really appreciate it. Alright, you guys, I have to go, so I'm just hurry up and spray my face with this setting spray, and then I'm out of here. If you guys like this video, if you guys enjoyed this video, like it, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see you guys in the next one.